Doctor, the patient's waking up again. How long was I out this time? Almost 7 months, but you should know. Oh, what? Hell is frozen over? Dogs and cats are living together? Cody Ware won a NASCAR race? Is that what you're gonna tell me? No, actually, everything went pretty much how we expected. Like, if you asked the average NASCAR fan who would make the playoffs, this is about what they'd say. Besides maybe Bubba, Barry, and Dylan. Oh. Well, did my prediction come true at least? Did Denny go winless? Did he finally miss the playoffs? Yep. Really? No. I don't think I've ever been more wrong about anything in my whole life, but you see why I thought he would struggle, right? The guy's 44 now, he has a new crew chief. The dude rolled into Daytona without a sponsor. If there was ever a time for Denny to fall off, it was now. And in fairness, that prediction was realized early on. But it turns out all the 11 team needed was a little ebb and flow. No, but seriously, even in year 20, Denny's still a formidable foe. Is this the year that the Ham Man finally gets it done? Finally claims his crown? Don't get your hopes up. It is really cool that this guy, while having an average finish almost 10 spots lower, is tied with Denny Hamlin at the top of the board. I love the playoffs. I love them so much. I can already hear it from the supercar fans. Crikey, those NASCAR fellas are just a bunch of bludgers. But as those who've been watching know, it's a bit more complicated than that. SVG has taken the term road course ringer to new heights, as his average finish on tracks where you have to turn right is a resounding league best 2.0. Whereas on tracks where you don't have to turn right, it's 6.1, one of the worst in the field. If NASCAR was strictly ovals like some people still think it is, he would be drowning, nowhere near contending for a title. That's not to say I don't like the guy, I think he's a great addition to the sport, but in the same vein as last year's championship, Shane's 2025 campaign deserves a big ol' asterisk. He is not on par with Denny Hamlin, not even close, but if he gets better at turning left, I've got some bad news for the rest of the field. All right, 3 wins in the regular season, matching his personal best from last year. Never mind that they came back to back to back at the tippity top of the schedule, this season's still been a solid showing. A few hiccups here and there, but who cares? Did you see that All-Star race? Forget the fact that his last points-paying win was almost 6 months ago. Christopher Bell still got it. Look, I'm even wearing his merch. I still believe in him. He can win the championship. Somebody please agree with me. Michael Jordan once said that if you run into a wall, don't give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Kyle Larson is not Michael Jordan. For the first third of the year, he seemed to be the standard, dominating, winning, and leading the points. Same old, same old. Then came his second attempt at the Indy Double, where...
Something just crashed.
It's we got a spinner. Kyle Larson.
No. Larson hits Simpson. Look how loose, man.
There goes Kyle Larson sliding off the corner.
Huge crash, the 5. Just destroying the suspension on the right rear of Larson's car.
For a 12-year veteran, a champion, to have his confidence rattled this badly by one bad weekend, I won't lie, it's a little embarrassing, especially for the self-proclaimed best driver in the world. That's not to say it's been all doom and gloom since Memorial Day, he's still stayed relatively consistent. But in the last 16 races, he hasn't been back to victory lane, yet has 5 finishes of 28th or worse. I'm better than Max Verstappen, my ass. Of all the years for him to finally win that regular season championship, this one? Don't get me wrong, William Byron is still very, very good, but in 2023, he was winning everything in sight, and even last year boasted 3 wins in the first 8 races. You would think that either of those seasons would warrant this trophy more. Maybe the competition's getting tougher, or maybe it's getting worse. Best not to think about it. That is a pretty sweet trophy. Maybe it's time to take another swing at Sabrina Carpenter. If this was 30 years ago, Chase Elliott would be contending for cups like it's going out of style. It's a shame consistency means nothing today because NASCAR's most popular would be the poster child. He's had the best average finish in 3 of the last 4 seasons, and the 4th is only because he almost lost a leg in Colorado. There's a serious case to be made that Chase Elliott has been the best driver of the next-gen era. Now, if only that carried into the playoffs. I think he's got as good a shot as he's ever had, but I'm still skeptical. Winning is the name of the game, and at the moment, that's his weakness. Well, that and showing human emotion. Close enough. Welcome back, Martin Truex. I remember at least 20 or so races where MTJ had it in the bag, so trust me when I say that YRB is just as snake-bitten. Those piddly 2 wins do not tell the full story of all the times where he shoulda, woulda, coulda, especially Darlington. Thanks, Larson. I stand in solidarity with you, Blaney fans. It is bullshit. But don't you worry. Remember, he's Team Penske. He'll emerge from the shadows at just the right time and slit the throats of anyone who dared to doubt him. And I will not be one of them. With so much criticism to delve out every which way, it's nice to see a driver finally end up where he belongs. Chase Briscoe is a masterful wheelman. He just had the misfortune of joining Stewart-Haas at the beginning of the end, but even still, he proved he can win in losing equipment. So when you put him in winning equipment, the sky's the limit. Now, it would be nice if he could convert more of those poles to wins, but I ain't worried. For a first season with a new manufacturer, new team, and the walking 3-week suspension that is James Small, he's doing well. And look at it this way. Chase Briscoe has won more cup races for Joe Gibbs than Ty Gibbs, and that is very funny. I tend to put my expectations on the floor, which is why in the closing laps at Indy, I had zero confidence Bubba Wallace would pull it off. It felt like fate itself was intervening, either in the form of Mother Nature, or a lack of fuel, or the 45 car, for some reason. Hence me already mourning his loss before it had even happened. But the beauty of sport is that occasionally, once every blue moon, the stars align, and things just work out. I'm glad he's back in victory lane, finally back in the playoffs, and even if he gets bounced in the first round, I'm just glad I get to mention him in this video. It's been a long time coming. It's not an even numbered year, he's not worth talking about, let's move on. I don't really get Ross Chastain. There was so much hope and optimism for him after 2022, but ever since, he's become the new age Kurt Busch, barely in the talk for a title, but with one win a year just to make sure he stays in the show. Although that one win in the 600 was very impressive. His performance as a whole, though, just continues to slip, and as a big fan of his, it's pretty disheartening. His greatest strength used to be his irksomeness, his persistence in being an absolute pest week in and week out. He might have made some enemies, but boy was it fun to watch, and boy did it get results. This is what happens when you neuter the pest. You get 2025 Ross Chastain. Carson Hocevar, if you're watching this, please never change. From regular season champ to regular season chump. Okay, that might be a bit harsh. Obviously, he's not up to snuff with where he was last year. The closest he's been to victory lane was when he finished second in the season opener 6 months ago. But Tyler Reddick is still treading water, still consistently consistent. In the playoffs, though, that won't be enough. Better start logging more laps in Mario Kart. I feel like Austin Cindric is one of those slow cookers. He doesn't wow you right away, to the point where, after a while, you might be wondering how and why he's still here, but then around age 30, he just kind of figures it out. We've still got a few years till then, but for now, Cindric is serviceable, though that's not going to cut it for much longer. We already know that the 12 and the 22 will be in the fight for the cup, so old Roger Penske might start to wonder where his precious 2 car is. With Daddy no longer here to vouch for him, Austin better start showing us something. When you're driving for a top team, just remember, don't be a JJ Yaley. Before your time, ugh. I'm also glad I was wrong about this one. In just his 5th start for the Wood brothers, who had a combined 4 wins in the last 30 years, Josh Berry helped them return to victory lane in back-to-back seasons, something they haven't done since 1987. It had us all asking, was Berry the missing piece? Are the Wood brothers officially back? No, not really. Like Chase Briscoe and the entirety of Spire Motorsports, for some reason, they have a nasty habit of qualifying worlds ahead of where they wind up, boasting an average starting spot almost 5 positions better than their average finish. This season screams potential, yet very little is actually shown through. It can't be worse than being stuck in the shitbox at Stewart-Haas, but I just feel like there's something more we have yet to see. Hey, did you guys know he went to school with Taylor Swift? Okay, Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift. Alright, that should keep me relevant. Sorry, Danny B, the 4th driver allegations are not getting beat. It hasn't been a bad season for Bowman, it's just been the same as the last 3, nothing special. Which wouldn't be a big deal if he wasn't driving the winningest car of the last 2 decades. High expectations come with the job at Hendrick, and if he can't hack it, that job might become available. Hey, Connor Zillish, you can still go back on that Trackhouse deal, right? And there we have it, the Sweet 16 still left standing. Some I got right, others not so much. Sorry, Gino. But now it's time to crown a champion. So who's that gonna be? Well, first we have the busy work, getting rid of the obvious, Austin Dillon, SVG, Josh Berry, and a little less obvious, Ross Chastain. I love the Melon Man, I just don't see him going far. Then we have the round of 12, where Reddick, Cindric, Bowman, and Bubba will meet their untimely ends, better luck next year. Next, the round of 8, the final stop for Briscoe, Elliott, Hamlin, and Logano, please for the love of God, Logano. And that leaves Blaney, Bell, Byron, and Larson to fight it out in Phoenix. As for the championship, I'm sticking to my pick. I've got C. Bell finally receiving vengeance for last year's mishap. But that's not all I've got. I also have questions, like what do you think? Who's your pick to win the Bill France Cup? And have you ever wanted to see your name on a NASCAR NAS truck? Well, you're in luck. Whoa! Your name could be on the bed of the number 69 Elly Productions F-150. And yes, this is a real thing. We're actually doing this. All you have to do is head to this GoFundMe page, link in the description, donate $25, and blammo! Your name will be on the high banks of Talladega in the Truck Series race on October 17th. If you use any obscenities, we're just gonna keep the $25. Sorry, not sorry. You can also enter a giveaway for a variety of cool prizes by liking, commenting, and tagging a friend in this post, either on Twitter or Instagram. Once again, link in the description. The giveaway is totally free to enter and ends on September 22nd. The winners will be announced in a live stream the day after right here on Elly Productions, so maybe hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. Wink, wink.
A year ago, something like this would have been unconscionable. Hell, it was surreal enough to do it in Bristol earlier this year. So I'm really thankful to Tyler Tomasi and MBM Motorsports for letting us try again. And once again, thankful to you for being a part of it. Thanks again for everything you do to help keep this channel and my dream alive. And I'll see you in Talladega.